Would you like to answer?
Healthcare is a unique business. We talk about 2009, but actually even few years back, you know, the cost of healthcare is going up, and the easy targets for corporations is maintenance, plant operations. You know, you mentioned about layoffs. Fortunately, we didn't have any layoffs in 2009 because we addressed it in 2008. Somebody saw it coming, so we did the right sizing even before 2009. Used to be in the 80s. Rule of thumb is a maintenance guy takes care of about 20,000 square feet of facilities, and then somewhere in the 90s, one FTE would take care of 30,000 square feet, and then 40,000 square feet. At this point, one FTE is taking care of 50,000 square feet of the facility. So the facilities department is a target because of corporate says, you know, we have to lay off so many people. They always take from the plant operations maintenance. So we're used to that kind of situation, but healthcare again is unique. The difference is we are not only, we preach to our employees, we are not only transactional, but transformational. In other words, when a housekeeping person is not just cleaning the room, he or she is reducing the nosocomial infection. So there is a higher mission. We are saving lives, so if everybody is on the same page, the same mission, you know, we can do, you know, they can keep on adding the job to the scope of work, but with less people. So how do you, you know, you need to be high performer, you need to be productive in your work, and you need to be in the same page, on the same page with your employees and staff.
Would you say that, especially with the example of they had 30,000 square feet they were first managing, and then 40,000 square feet, now 50,000 square feet, what is there, has there been any issues because now it's too much, or are they having to work extra hours in order to make sure that all 50,000 square feet are being maintained? What have been some of the challenges with that?
Well, we need to make adjustments. We have some casual employees, former employees who retired, and then we can call them back. And then we have a couple of employees who are casual again, you know, we call them if the job. But it's exciting, every day is different. If the snow falls, you know, you have to address that, you know, the staff will help out, you know, so everything is, you know, being adjustable. There is no fixed solution. But fortunately, because we're looking at the overall effectiveness, we look at the procurement of energy, we look at the use, the efficiencies, and fortunately, 2009, I'm 15% favorable in my budget because of the energy savings, energy projects that we did, efficiencies.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking
Right,
about more of that when we get there with efficiencies.
Right.
I think, because I know that you've done some really good things about that. Okay, so have you had any issues with, because you have maybe less people or the people are being more strained, not being able to hire additional people within your facility, everybody's having to pick up more, you know, more responsibility, do more in the same time frame where, gosh, I was pretty busy during those 8 hours already. Now in order for me to get this done, I'm having to work harder in those 8 hours and longer. You know, there's only so much capacity that person can still do, or how fast they can still work on that particular project without compromising quality, true? So what happens when you're going to have to put more responsibility and tax that person even more with, okay, now you have to take care of this, and you have to now take care of that. How have you been able to manage in order to maintain some of that quality issues, and maintain so that person does not get so burnt out and errors don't get made?
I think one of the points that was made earlier was the idea of cross-training. We've been pretty lucky. We've always done that at UIC, that people are able to, they know a lot of different pieces of equipment that go into the every building is different. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're talking about 60 different buildings, you know, there's labs, there's classroom buildings, there's dorms. So, but the engineers themselves, the training that they have, the way that they're willing to work with each other, I think it's a positive atmosphere, and they're good people. I mean, they work really hard, they come to work, they're good about letting you know, hey, I think we have an issue here, you know, if we stay on top of it now, if we get on top of it, you know, before it becomes an even bigger problem. You know, it's the people, and it's the people that care that make a difference. And I mean, I'm real lucky with the people that I have working for me.
Are you all kind of experience the same thing, where the people that you do have, the core people, are really stepping up and they are working together and doing everything they can?
Absolutely.
Or has any of that emotion, have you experienced or seen other companies too that have experienced, like, there's a lot of emotion going on, everybody's pooling and playing tug of war, you know, what's going to happen here? Are we, you know, am I going to have a job tomorrow? I want his, you know, I want to take on some of his responsibilities to, you know, to show my value. Have you seen or heard of, you know, things like that going on yet?
We haven't had that. I mean, we work together as a team. I mean, and the guys, they're happy to have a job. I mean, they know if something were to happen where we are now, there's nowhere to go. I mean, so we just, you know, we've kind of gathered together and made a conscious effort to make sure that we're doing everything. And if Pete needs help, you know, Brian will give him a hand, or Louis, or whoever. They know that some guys are better at certain aspects of the job than other guys are, and they know to turn to those guys for help.
That's really wonderful, because, you know, I'm sure there's situations out there that are not as favorable as what you three are experiencing.
I was actually at a company a couple of days ago where we were brought in. There were about 3 or 4 contractors to help decide how they can eliminate a certain department in this one company. And I actually know a couple of people in that department that they're trying to eliminate. And I was speaking with them afterwards, and the attitude was just down in the dumps, because you know, they know their jobs are at stake here, and they're really worried about, you know, what's going to happen next year.